Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today and we are discussing the state of physical releases for video games because I am appalled. Back then, when you got a game, it was the full package. Of course the video game was included, but sometimes those packages came with little bonus items like posters and pins on top of the instruction manual. As the years have gone on, digital game purchases have risen, each company making sure to note the percentage of their sales in thanks to the digital realm per release. There's no denying, of course, the convenience factor of the digital age. There's no waiting on lines, you don't gotta talk to people, preloading is a thing, so the moment a game is ready, you can fire it up even sooner compared to just buying it physically and driving home. It's almost foolproof to go this route. However, you have geniuses like me. A genius who clings to nostalgia so tightly and goes to his local GameStop just despite the statistics that are constantly being thrown in his face. In all actuality, while I understand the rise of digital sales is inevitable thanks to the sheer convenience factor, I can't help but think these numbers may be knocked back even possibly 10% if companies put a little effort into their packaging. When I open a game case, I almost marvel at the sheer waste of plastic, Nintendo being one of the biggest offenders. Seriously, why does Nintendo have such a tall case for such a small cartridge and clips for a manual that has never been there? I'm sure there are releases, but I've never seen one. It's almost like it's antagonizing me, or compensating for the small cartridge size. I feel the former manual holders are now reserved as clips to lock down packaging GameStop slaps inside the box just to hold the game. That, or you have the rare case where the title comes with 2 discs and it makes sense why you don't have yourself a manual. Okay, fine, I can deal with that. 2 games? Sure. You see, the reason why manuals were so cool wasn't only because I fondly remember cracking them open during car rides home with my parents as I hotly anticipated sprinting through the front door and getting started with the game as soon as possible. The manuals often helped with keeping slow tutorials that started off the game out of the way. Games would still, of course, have tips, but more often than not, you were tossed into the action because a developer would expect you to do essentially your homework before hopping in. Not only that, the manual served as a mini lore bible. Sometimes art was stuffed in here too in an effort to fully display the design of a creature that the game's graphics couldn't. It eventually felt like an extension of the game rather than a bonus. Now, naturally, games have come incredibly far. They are practically photorealistic in some cases, so we don't really need the artwork inside of the instruction manual, and companies have been sure to take advantage of that, separating the products and then selling art books for pretty much every single release. But I digress. The 2 new trends for physical goods are pretty art on the other side that you can see through the plastic. This allows the occasional reversal for you to have some options to how you display your game on the shelf, but one of them removes the actual label from the middle of the box, and the other is the steelbook fiasco. It still holds nothing inside it, but I'm actually a supporter of this one, especially with the way Atlas is doing it. No extra cost, just get in on the game first. They call it the launch edition, be a physical supporter, and they reward you for it if you dig it. Now, hold up, wait, did GameStop really slap a sticker on the steel? I'm never trading a game here again. This is the final straw. What is this? Oh, we can't forget the period of time where companies would fool us and we think that we're getting a nice little manual with write-ups on the creatures and lore, but we got little advertisement stuff in there for other games instead. Wait, hold on. Bethesda knows that Fallout New Vegas exists? Anyway, I guess this has always been a thing with licensed products. We can even see here in this SpongeBob video game that we have a bunch of Nickelodeon-related promotions, and they're all over the place. Even inside the instruction manual, we can find promotions for other pieces of SpongeBob material. But once again, this is more common with licensed products. Perhaps it's a budget thing too nowadays. Cut the cost of creating a manual for every game, make a better collector's edition possibly, maybe allow for more stuff to be added in the game. I understand the sheer rise of digital gaming likely discourages these efforts. I mean, why bother if you're making money without having to print the manual and put all that additional effort in, but I feel like we'd still be multiple years away from an all-digital future if there was actually some effort being put into physical releases. Instead, you're just going out and buying the disc. That's it. It gets to a point where I even go, why am I going out to do this if this is all they're going to give me? If I'm just getting the game as an end result, I may as well do it in the most convenient manner, which is why I think a lot of us have been pushed to downloading games, but not everyone has access to great internet, which is why I think great physical editions should continue to release. I mean, look at what CD Projekt Red is doing for The Witcher 3 on Switch. Look at all the stuff this comes with, even a thank you letter. Now, I know CD Projekt Red is in a better position than most companies, but they're treating a re-release on Switch like like an actual game launch, and they're putting a lot of stuff inside the packaging to make it exciting for the consumer. You know, you always remember that first time you unpackage the game, there's that new game smell, and then on the inside, there's so many nice products, and that really enhances the memory, where I think back fondly to unpackaging certain games. So all I'm saying is that, games industry, I understand that you're heading digitally, whether I like it or not, but at the end of the day, I think that a lot of people could do better with creating good physical launches instead of just a disc in a box. I think we aren't asking for too much for a little something in there to help emphasize that physical matters just as much. I understand it's a business, maybe I don't understand that side of things, but these are just my thoughts. That'll do it for me. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you think about physical launches nowadays? Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.